Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I am your host, Matt. I thank you for joining me today, and of course, if you want to see more videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on today's video, and once you finish watching, comment your thoughts down below because I would love to hear what you have to say about the following topics, mostly centered around Mohamed Salah, or as I like to call him, God, but I worship the ground that man walks on, I swear. But I love Mohamed Salah. Okay, I'm not saying this because he's my favorite player on the team, but when he lost the Ballon d'Or, I was upset. I was like, man, what does this guy have to do? I mean, I'm sure Dembele. I don't know how to say that first name. Usamane. God forgive me for mispronouncing this name, but I'm sure he's great. And he plays for PSG, who won the Champions League. So I'm sure the Champions League win had something to do with it for him winning. And the fact that I think Mo Salah got fifth in that is ridiculous. But what I don't understand is that when a country is having its own version of the Ballon d'Or for the whole, not even the country, the whole continent of Africa, excuse me, how does Mo Salah not win anything in that regard? Okay. Apparently, they recently had an awards ceremony, the CAF Awards, and God forgive me once again for mispronouncing this. Ashraf Hakimi was crowned African Player of the Year. He's a player for Morocco, and wait for it, PSG again. So these guys got the award ceremonies by the balls here and saying we're going to take every single thing that Mo Salah probably deserves. And I hate feeding into the whole argument of Mo Salah is the most disrespected player in league history or football history or things of that nature. I love Mo Salah. He's my favorite player. He's so freaking good. He has the stats to prove that he's good. This year is a bit of an outlier right now, but hopefully he'll kick it up a notch sooner rather than later. But to not win this award, where he himself had such a fantastic year to lead Liverpool to the Premier League championship and get to I think it was the semifinals of the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken, if not the quarterfinals, one of the two, which is pretty far, in my opinion. They didn't win, but it was still, they went far enough to make an impact. And he doesn't win that award? I'm shocked. The Ballon d'Or, I can kind of understand. This, I'm shocked. Genuinely shocked. As a matter of fact, it gets better from here, folks. Seems like Moroccan football dominated the entire damn award because they won, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 awards throughout the course of that ceremony. And I'm not just strictly the country of Morocco. I don't know what they're feeding you guys over there, but holy shit. We need to pick up some Moroccan players, it seems, because there's something in the water over there. If it's clean, anyway. But that was a bad joke. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked that Salah did not win that award. Again, people have been saying support him, love him. He's the most disrespected player ever. And in this case, I'm going to lean towards that role. It sucks to see that he did not win this. And it seems like it's only going to get worse for him because from what I can tell, he's being accused of sabotaging Florian Wirtz and his growth on the team, according to German media. Sportbild is the site that is claiming this ridiculous accusation, in my opinion. The claim argues that Salah is overlooking Wirtz in attacking situations, not assisting new signings by blocking their successful new beginning, and becoming a major problem for Liverpool and Wirtz. The German outlet also suggests that Salah could be dethroned soon, implying that Liverpool, Slot, and the teammates may eventually push him aside. And they may even speculate that Salah may move to Saudi Arabia in the summer of 2026, which that's been something that's been talked about forever, even before we won the league this past season. So I have never ruled that part out for sure, especially if Salah wants to make a shit ton of money. The Saudis are where it's at. I mean, look at WWE, look at Live Golf, look at all these other outlets trying to get a little piece of the pie of Saudi Arabia. And listen, man, they're rich. They're willing to pay you. I'm not saying I'll take the blood money, but if that's your thing, do you, bro? I just do not understand this narrative that German media is trying to push. It is so dumb. It is so goddamn dumb. The fact that this is even being talked about. Like, I know Salah could be selfish at times, and I argue this is like a guy that worships the ground that man walks on. He's like God to me, okay? But to sit here, think about writing this article, physically write out the article, post said article, just spewing that bullshit is like astronomical levels of stupid. You know, the narrative continues as they say, the claims that Salah is king of the champions, implying he is protecting his own status. He's inadvertently slowing down Liverpool's new era, and he stands in the way of Wirtz becoming, quote, the future attacking leader. And it seems like they're framing Wirtz as the heir apparent to Salah, and Salah is obstructing that. And I have virtually no words for what I am reading here, okay? I am as dumbfounded, as shocked. Perhaps a couple of my brain cells have committed suicide over the course of me reading this segment. I have nothing to say. I believe that is 100% bullshit. I think that Wirtz is responsible for Wirtz, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think the fact that our striking has been complete shit has helped matters, but to say that Salah is the seemingly key foe here in Wirtz's adjustment at Liverpool, and that he's being affected by it, is to protect his own status, mind you. Give me a fucking break, will you? I'm sorry to curse, but that just pisses me off, bro. I mean, aside from the bullshit of the awards ceremony for the African football, I just can't fathom that somebody would sit there and write such garbage. I mean, shame on the German media for that one. Truly, shame. So here are some media that I actually trust more than that garbage. And that's Jamie Carragher. And he was talking about some of the key points that we need to have, that Liverpool must do to have a big January transfer window. And some of these core arguments I would like to talk with you about that I don't necessarily disagree with, because I've been talking about it for weeks now in my own right, on my own platform for Liverpool and FanArch. So let's get right to it, shall we? I mean, we spent $450 million, nearly $500 million, probably one of the biggest transfer windows we've ever had. 7 major signings, including Isak and Wirtz, and we still sit well below where we should be with all those names that we did acquire, and losing awfully to teams like Man City 3-0. We failed to integrate those new players, which is beyond clear, and I think our tactics have fallen short as a result from those terrible losses. Well, actually, I should switch that. our tactics are causing our results to fall short from where we want them to be. Hence why we are in the position we are in the table. Also, from a defensive standpoint, we are the 7th worst defensive record in the Premier League, which is fucking terrible. Okay? Here's some of Mr. Carraher's core arguments that I agree with as well. They need to spend, clearly. They should have bought a center back in the summer, which we kind of tried, but, we kind of waited too late, and shit hit the fan. The Crystal Palace blocked Mark Gahey. So, it's not like we didn't try. It's just that we waited way too long to do anything about it. Not to mention that we have horrible, horrible injuries like Leone, who's still out for the rest of the season with this ACL injury. Hope he's recovering quite well. But, we focused a lot on the striking and the midfield. But, defensive-wise, kind of falters a little bit. I mean, we still need a left back. That was something that should have been taken care of, especially after Andy Robertson's performance last year, which was freaking abysmal. I love Robertson as a person. I talked about him very passionately in the last episode with the whole Jota situation, but let's not sit here and be revisionist history people and say, oh, he's had a great year, he should stay. No, it was terrible. We all argued that they should sign a left back because of how bad Robertson was last year. He had moments of greatness, but it was very subpar for the most part, in my honest opinion as a fan watching. The center back situation, Kwanzaa's gone, Leone's injured. We still have no idea what's going on with Konate. So, not to mention we were having problems at right back because no one is a true replacement for Alexander-Arnold. We lost Trent, the Rat left, El Rata, and Elliott moved on, where that was usually kind of his spot at times too. Bradley is currently possibly injured for the foreseeable future. We don't know what's going on there yet. So they brought Wirtz in, and I don't think he's filled that role very well. Honestly, the best person that they've had at that position, in my opinion, is Szoboszlai, but Bradley's probably the second best, in my honest opinion. And meanwhile, they signed all these strikers, and they signed Edetike, Isak. Oh, I forgot. We also signed Kirkes, who we put at left back, and he has done absolutely abysmally nothing besides play dumb fuck football, as I call it. So, yeah, but we have two great strikers that can't score goals for the most part because, they can't get set up for it, and one of them is injured and quite possibly might play limited minutes for the foreseeable future on the squad on the bench. So, while we have the names, it's clear as day that we don't have the proper replacements that we should have gotten. I think this summer window was great from a name perspective. As far as getting everybody as a cohesive unit, I'm still waiting to see that. There are times where I think we're close to that, and then they shit the bed for a few games, and we wonder what happened. Why did we get ourselves all hyped up about this? So the defense is probably the biggest concern that I have, and what I believe Liverpool should be focusing on going into January. I do think the midfield needs to be touched up a little bit more to have some depth there as well. But I don't really know at the end of the day. We don't know what they're planning. I've reported a bunch of different names of who they could be looking at. But at the same time, they could absolutely find none of them or sign any of them. And I've been saying this for a while. If I was to pick between Semenyo and Gahey, who have been the two biggest names of this transfer window for us so far as who we're looking at, I would rather pick Gahey. Just for the defensive aspect alone. We have no depth there. So if we can get some depth at defense, we might actually be doing a little bit better. And considering we have literally no margin for error. And I'm sounding really angry right now. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be yelling at you guys, but it just frustrates me. We have no margin for error at this point of the season. All the losses that we should have taken or that we could have taken to retain the title, we've taken in the last like 2 months. Okay? There's no more room to lose. There's no more room to draw, even. Unless Arsenal has a catastrophic fuck up and completely shits the bed, as they are known to do, City will probably end up winning the league, which this is one of those times where I would not be mad about it, but I won't be pleased that we performed the way they did to allow them to get to that point. Because I don't want to deal with the fact that I have to hear from either Arsenal fans or City fans saying, hey, the only reason you won the league last year is because we sucked. You know? That's what I don't want to hear. And I also don't want to hear Arsenal fans celebrating that they won a title for the first time under Arteta when we clowned them all summer about it after we won the league. So, and after they lost basically every tournament they were in and every league they were in to even get a championship. So, that's just one thing I personally do not want to deal with. So, I for one agree with a lot of Carragher's points here. It's not, and again, it's not even a matter of signing these guys. It's a matter of how we're going to integrate them into the already existing team, which is already having its problems, as we clearly see on a week-to-week basis when the games come back. Speaking of when the Premier League comes back, let's talk Nottingham Forest, shall we? Probably the best news that I could have received, which I did talk about a little bit already, but I will go further into it. Becker. He's back, baby. The number one. AB1 exists. He lives. He's back in net. And we needed this so bad because I absolutely cannot stand Georgi Mamardashvili. And I know people like to defend him online. I am not one of those men because I have seen little to nothing that makes me want to support him because he's just not up to par with a number two that I am used to seeing, personally speaking. So Becker is back. Frimpong probably won't be playing because he's still out until December, which sucks. But again, we need more depth in that position as well, where he is. And hopefully, Isak plays a little bit to the point where maybe he scores a couple of goals. Maybe the front three or front whatever the fucking formation Slot puts together, because he clearly likes to just throw shit together for the sake of throwing shit together instead of what worked for us in the past. Let's just hope to God that he can put together a proper lineup for us to come together. And it would be nice if it was a 4-3-3 like we should have had a few weeks ago against Man City, but I rest my case. That's beating a dead horse at this point. So, Nottingham Forest, they are not doing too good. As a matter of fact, I think they're like second to last or third to last on the table. They're facing relegation at this point in time. It's a team that I'm not super worried about. Okay? That said, I said the same thing during Brentford. Anything can happen in football. Everything and anything will happen in football. If Brentford can beat us, and Brentford's a pretty average team in my opinion, so can Nottingham Forest. After all, they were the ones that beat us for the first time last season after we had a pretty solid start, and we held that grudge for months on end, all of us collectively as fans. So, they also have a couple of injuries in their own right. Ola Aina, again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He's out until New Year's, which is insane, that poor guy. And Douglas Luiz, who is a midfielder that, he's out from a midfield issue that I guess happened in a previous game. There's a couple of different possible returns for subs or starts. Chris Wood, their striker, is coming back potentially. Dilani Bakwa, who's a forward. Alexander Zinchenko, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. So, potentially, we could have a problem if these players are up to par, because injuries have seemed to have been Nottingham has seemed to have been riddled with injuries, and it's just destroying their core and probably their bench too. And we either win this by a heavy margin. Excuse me, words are hard sometimes. Or we lose in absolutely humiliating fashion. The match prediction that I am seeing online is a Liverpool 3-1 victory. And I don't want to say that this is true or not. Again, I'm looking more at like a I'm looking more at like a 2-1 at best. I don't believe we can score 3 goals, to be honest with you. I'll be shocked if we score 3 goals in this game because we've been so bad. But the good news is our head-to-head record against Forest is actually quite good. We've beaten them 60 times, they've beaten us 32, and we've drawn with them 30 times. So the odds of us winning more than likely is good, but I still don't necessarily agree with the idea that this is going to be a dominating victory, quote unquote. So let me know what you think down in the comments section below, because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm scared. And if we lose this game, see how dark my room is? That's going to be what my soul looks like come the next upload after the match. So, just a fair warning. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Liverpool Latest. I appreciate you very much for stopping by. And as always, you'll never walk alone. Up the Reds against Forest.